Good morning. So I'm here with Luna herself. Her name is her earthen name is Jerome, and we have something special for you today. Before we start yapping our heads off, and this is actually the theme song of my grandmother and grandfather, mother's side.
What's the difference?
Ah, really?
Yeah. Wider than mine, I'm crossing you in time someday. You dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way.
Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows and waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, Moon River, and me. Yeah! Well, because we're here to talk about the moon. The moon. The moon. Okay. So, what do you want to talk about the moon?
I have always been really feeling a really deep connection with the moon. And like through the years, it's just been, everything's just making sense. Why I've been fascinated about looking up at the moon and why I'm so, like even as a kid, knowing in science, you teach the water cycle
Yes.
and the soil pattern and whatever.
The high tide, the low tide.
But what really piqued my interest is how the moon is able to affect the earth and how tides change because of the pull of the gravity of the moon through its phases, and how farming and fishing patterns depend on the moon.
Yes.
And so, like growing up, I've been really just wondering what this connection is. I mean, the moon is the Earth's satellite.
The
It's
Earth's
our-
natural satellite.
Yeah, it's our only. We only have one, whereas other planets they have 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
But we only have this one, and looking at outside of science, looking at folklore and mythology, we see how the moon really plays a key part in everyone's lives. Like how Bakunawa.
What's Bakunawa?
There's in Philippine mythology.
The vaccine. Bakuna.
In Philippine mythology, there's this creature that emerges from the sea that eats the moon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Bakunawa is this magical creature that when time comes to feel whole again, eats the moon. And that's why during new moon, we don't see the moon.
Oh.
And it's just a cycle of consumption and love and passion throughout Bakunawa and the moon.
Consumption, love, and passion.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
wow.
yeah, if you study like through mythology and
Yes.
Philippine literature, the moon really plays a key part, like either as the wife of the sun,
You are sunlight, and I moon,
yeah, or as
by the god of fortune. Okay.
yeah, and not just in the Philippines but also in different cultures,
Yeah.
like even in Japan,
Yeah.
like in Shinto mythology, the moon is the mother of the earth.
Oh. Okay.
Like the sun and moon communed and they gave birth to the earth.
Oh wow.
So
I think it's just like. Well, sorry. I just wanted to insert that trivia. That are you familiar with rice terraces
yeah,
of
yeah.
Banawe rice terraces? It was one of the 8 wonders of the world, and the only differentiating thing is that it wasn't forced labor, not like the pyramids or the other structures. This was done with love, and this was actually done within the moon cycle, and they have like the exact number of hits per stone. That's why it's still standing up to now. Now, I wanted to touch on like something closer to heart, like how the moon affects water. And,
Yeah, okay.
we're like 80% water.
Yeah, okay. So, 2 years ago or close to 3 years now, I started my Ashtanga yoga practice.
Ashtanga.
Yes. And
What does Ashtanga?
Ashtanga means eight-limbed. So, it's the philosophy of yoga that yoga is not just, warrior pose. It's not just that. It's more than that. There are 8 limbs to yoga. There's, of course, the asana, but there's also breathing, meditation, how you live with yourself, how you live with others. So it's one whole thing. And in Ashtanga yoga, we observe moon days. So we don't practice yoga on full moon days.
Okay.
The principle behind that is, so our body is made up of water. We're 80% water basically. And just how the moon affects the oceans, the tides,
Yes.
we're also being affected in that way as bodies of water or bodies with water.
Yeah.
And so, like in nature, we want balance and harmony, right? So when the moon is at its peak, where it's at its highest energy, you want to be calm.
Okay.
So we don't practice yoga. The full moon actually, although it signals, life, because it's the middle of the cycle. It's not the end of the cycle because then it also wanes.
Oh, okay.
From new moon, it becomes a full moon and then it wanes. So it's actually the middle, and so that's when you expect life and energy. But in Ashtanga yoga, we take the full moon as a signal to calm down and reflect and just not work against the energy of the moon. While everyone else have their energies heightened, Ashtanga yogis actually take that time to rest. And so I've just been really honoring that. In as I've mentioned, as a kid I was fascinated with the moon, but now it makes so much sense why, they say some people go crazy when there's a full moon, and then it's not a coincidence that the word for crazy person is lunatic or crazy.
Although, in my experience, it's usually the female who get crazy.
And it's great that you mentioned females because the energy of the moon is really feminine.
Oh.
Like counter to the sun's masculine energy. That's the sun is just there all the time. That when you wake up, it's there, it's constant. But the moon, it goes through phases.
Oh yeah.
Just like a woman. I mean, a man also goes through phases, but it's more evident in the woman, like from childhood to adulthood, and then giving birth.
Yeah, because
getting pregnant,
the moon has phases like half moon, new moon, and the sun is just the sun.
Yeah,
the sun all throughout. There's no half sun. There's no new sun.
Yeah,
full
it's
sun.
just really it's the sun is just really constant, and that's why it's
You
masculine
have
energy.
okay, I didn't get it. Okay.
But yeah, the female, the moon evokes female energies, and I think that's also why
Yeah.
before, when I say before, I say like the time before people ate or consumed plastic
Yeah.
or processed stuff.
Yeah.
Before all of that happened,
Mhm.
women were so in tune with their own menstrual cycles that they move with the moon.
Oh.
And there are actually full moon gatherings.
Yes, yes, yes.
Where women just bleed to the earth as their offering.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they're actually
You're like,
there are actually sacred huts in a community. There's a sacred hut where women gather during their full moon cycle, which is their full moon time, and then just honor each other's body, and
Wow.
like in Ashtanga yoga, we relax. Women during their full moon time, they just relax, and the men do all the work.
oh. But now, like, if you talk about offering blood to the soil, I mean, nobody would think that. They would like have something with wings or, you know.
Yeah, I know.
But it's a very natural thing.
And it's actually like bleeding or offering your blood to the earth actually helps
The earth.
strengthen, and it helps with the crop cycle. And one thing I like about there's in the Northern American Indian tribes, they highly value women, not only for their life-giving capacity,
Yeah,
like giving
yeah.
birth, but they see women as really strong beings because we bleed every month, but
Yeah.
we don't die. We bleed liters of blood every month, but we don't die. But when you cut a
Yeah.
man, he bleeds for a few minutes or a few
When
hours, and
when the man sees the blood, he faints. You know, because we were talking about the same thing yesterday with Nico. He's not even speaking that much English, but he was saying that the woman is so strong. There's so much strength in it, and it's like they're carrying the earth. The men are there to protect
yeah.
the woman, the carrier, the vessel. But it hasn't been that way for some time now, and
In a long time.
in a long time, and that mindset should start spreading again,
Yeah.
so that when we have men who are protecting and women who are sharing their strength and giving birth and birthing to new ideas, like being connected with everything, then our problems right now would probably diminish by maybe 80%.
And while we're on the topic of like moon cycles,
Yeah.
it has also been my passion to like bring back, as you say, or to make the women around me become more conscious of their own period.
Okay.
Because we have become so disconnected with it. We see it as, that time was a month,
Yeah.
pain. But
And
then,
stain.
yeah, stain. But we don't realize we've become so disconnected that the pads we use are actually just accumulating in the earth.
Oh yeah.
They're not biodegradable.
Yeah, yeah.
So this year I've started using a moon cup.
Okay.
It's called the moon cup. So it's medical grade silicone,
Uh-huh.
which you put inside your vagina to catch the blood.
Okay.
So it doesn't smell because your blood doesn't come into contact with oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
So there's less smell, there's less pain, and there's less trash.
Yeah, exactly.
Because a moon cup lasts for a really long time.
Uh-huh.
You just put it in. After 8 hours, you pour the blood, wash it a bit, and then you put it back in. And so